Alright guys, how's it going? I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on in the Stheno community as my Steam loads up here. I just wanted to let you guys know that we generally have failed you, both as the officers and as the community itself. Now, with that being said, all I'm saying is that the officers, what we did is we got together and we decided to delegate jobs specifically to each one of the officers, so that way we can kind of even out uh, the demand for each spot and see where we are weak at in our community, whether it be public relations or promoting or even just server maintenance, things like that. We wanted to find out what would we be able to work on the best. Sadly, though, pretty much all of us have slacked, and none of us have really done the job that we were assigned. None of us have really done too much, I should say. We have done a little bit for it, but nothing too severe. Um, and that's where we failed the community. That's where we failed the players. That's where we failed you. Uh, One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was to kind of give you a run through and try to figure out what we can do. I can see huge ass glare. What we can do to really get this community back in track. Now, our population has dropped to a 20 to 30 people. We've had that same base amount of players for I'd say a good year now. And yeah, we have players come and go, but it's never they don't ever stay. All of our new players typically will just leave after a couple weeks, and it's not so much the community is bad, it's more so the person just stops playing games with the community. One thing I have noticed is that any of our new players to our community don't join us on our TeamSpeak or don't add anybody to their Steam friends. And so something I wanted to kind of talk about was maybe we should be open to, putting our Steam names out there and available on the website. Letting new players simply just add us on Steam. They can join us in games. We can go ahead and get things going with them. And my pizza in the oven just kind of exploded, it sounded like. But yeah, so the reason I'm bringing this up now is because for the officers, I went ahead and put together a bunch of files for all of us to kind of keep track of what we've done, what we're doing, um, finances, if we have any admin applications, like those applications need to be put on the website, or I mean on these documents, and then we look at them and we evaluate them, and then we also look at how many players we get each month, and it's just a month-to-month thing to keep track of how our community is doing and where we can improve through data in our community. And these files have hardly been updated. In fact, I think I'm the only one who's ever updated them, and I mean that's just going from like updating the podcast, updating our finances and things like that. And um, it's something, I mean, it was more for me to see. It was something I created for everybody to be able to see, and I thought it would help visualize where we need help in the community and everything, but I guess not everybody had the same vision as me. Maybe I'm just crazy and like to see things, and the community officers don't really care. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that we do always play games together. It's a day-to-day thing. It doesn't matter who is on, as long as we're trying to get some games going. That's why I invite everybody to really spread the TeamSpeak IP around. It seems anytime we're on TeamSpeak, even if we don't have that person on our friends list, it's really easy to hop onto a server or hop onto, any type of game, League of Legends, Minecraft, any World of Warcraft, any Call of Duty, I mean, any platform, any game. And we encourage everybody to try new games, try new platforms, and try getting new people into the community. But it's really hard to enjoy yourself and try to spread the community as well. One thing I think we're focusing too much on is having our own servers for games that I mean, we don't have a huge community at this moment. I don't think we should have a Minecraft server and a TTT server running right now with such little players that we have that play those games. So I think if we wanted to play those games, we can all just get onto a random server somewhere as a community, and then we can reach to that server through our community. So it wouldn't be something like, oh, hey, this is the Stheno server. It would be, hey, this is a group of Stheno players, and so we're here and not queer, and we're going to go ahead and invite you into our community, whether, you like games or you just like one specific game or you just even want to chat. And I will admit, most of our player bases are a little bit younger as of right now. A lot of our officers are on the older age side, which is a little ironic, but that's just how it is. You get a little more mature, and so we like having our officers mature. So one thing I wanted to point out is that our finances have been just absolutely terrible lately. And that has a lot to do with our population of the servers not getting, any players in them at all. Our server, I'm pretty sure, 20 hours of the day has 0 players in it, and then the other, 4 hours have maybe 1, 2 players in it every once in a while. And that's really shitty, guys. I understand that you're playing other games. This is why I think we should really go ahead and get rid of our servers and then start joining servers. Um, I noticed that a lot of the games that we do play are games that we play often, so we should start developing, whether it's just teams or events based around those games specifically for now, to try to get people more involved, because that's one thing that we've noticed is the events calendar we had filled up completely, and we're noticing that people aren't utilizing these events. They don't understand them, I guess. They don't really feel like participating, and for me that sucks, because I've in the past month and a half, 2 months, I've put about $80 worth of prize money for the community together, and that's just out of my own pocket. I did it for you guys, trying to get you guys really interested in what's going to happen with Stheno over the next few months, and to really hype you up for the new year. And I mean, we've had awesome turnouts. We've had some amazing events for them, New Year's, and then we've had other contests. And then we've even had people who were prize winners who decided to go ahead and donate their prize winnings towards the community, which I think personally is amazing, because that's what we're about, is trying to build the community and keep it going. Now, that $20 can go so much further if we're just doing TeamSpeak and our website at the moment. And we're hopefully trying to put out some t-shirts here soon, but I mean, my buddy who's developing those right now, I haven't heard from in a week or two, so a lot of that has to do with school coming back up. So we're going to see how that goes, and I'll send him a message here soon and figure it out. But I know his main concern was just trying to figure out what designs you guys would want. And I told him, for now, let's go ahead and do some plain type t-shirts where it's black and white or gray, and it's on the front, it's going to have a Stheno. It'll just say a Stheno for now. We're going to have a few later that'll say a Stheno gaming community, things like that. But our Stheno logo that we have, just the text itself that's on our website, we're going to have that going across, just plain t-shirt like that, and then he'll have his company logo on the back of the t-shirt, somewhere probably in the neckline, and it'll be a small little image, I'm sure. Eventually we're going to start implementing the snake in the background, as well as just a big icon saying Stheno gaming community, with our Stheno stake. We're going to try and, I guess, have some animated characters of the officers on there at one point. We're going to have different, from different games. It'll be like, a Minecraft Steve would be like, Tash, and then we'd have, I don't know, Fungasm as the Battle Block Theater type guys, and, Crude Butt as, who knows, yeah, Naked Mole Rat, I don't know. So we would do a bunch of random things like that, and we have, we're working with Fungasm as well as my buddy Caleb to try and figure this out and get those 2 points to match up. That way we can really have something going for you guys. We can try to get some type of income for the community, and we can get things going. Hold that thought, because my pizza's ready. So, be right back. Guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. I hope you don't mind if I actually eat my pizza while I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to kind of multitask a little bit here. So, like I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, so hopefully we can really work out the kinks of the t-shirts and get that out there so that way we can raise money for the community as well as promote another business, and then from there we can kind of try to start working in maybe coffee mugs, I don't know, computer accessories like headphones, mouses and keyboards, and even mouse pads. I think that would be great to have Stheno mouse pads, um, things like that. And that'll just help branch us and get us out as a community itself. Now, we're going to start small with t-shirts at first just to really see if it starts booming. And then if it doesn't help at all, then we're going to go ahead and trash that idea. Hopefully it does help a little bit in promoting the community. So, another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is we really need to get together, not just the officers, but the entire community. We need to figure out what is our next move. Do we really want to go ahead and start focusing on certain games for now, or do we really just want to keep it open like we have it? The only thing I see about the open thing is when we play different games, we play just with our friends. We don't join other, servers. We don't do any, cross community type thing. And that isn't getting us anywhere because we're playing with the same 5 people every time. And I'm guilty of it too. I like playing games with, my friends and Crudell, and I mean, come on. It, it's just, who you're fun, yeah, like, who you have fun with. And, typically if you're playing a game like, I don't know, say like The Forest, you've already got a whole base set up and everything, and you don't want to have to go ahead and rebuild everything if, you got some newbie going in there. So what we're looking at is, right now, Crude Owl is in the making of a game mode for Gmod. With this game mode, we are hoping to not only kind of promote Stheno a little bit, but to be able to start inviting more people into our community who have the more game developer type of coding and skills. And then we'll also look at having maps being created, excuse me, and different things. We're really hoping to broaden our horizons, I guess you could say. Um, Now, there's a lot of things going on that you may not know about, and just like that. And that's because we are trying to secretly do things behind doors. We want you guys to be a part of it, but we also want you to understand that there are things I'm not going to go into detail about the game mode, and I hope Crude that doesn't really go into detail either, because it's something that he's going to be working on, and we don't want to disappoint you. We don't want to make a game mode, or say we're going to make a game mode type and start going into detail about it, and then us fall apart and not be able to make it. Now, this is something that'll take a good while, and I guarantee he'll end up finishing a game mode, whether it's a shitty one, a good one, whatever. You know, so he's got my full support, and it's something I know he likes to do. He likes to code. It's pretty relaxing to him at times, especially when he's having a bad day. And so I'm all for that. For me, my stress is just playing games, and that could be either whether by myself or with friends. I would prefer it would be with friends because I get more laughter out of that, so that's a big stress reliever for me. Especially when I with my job, there's a lot of stress in the environment, and then school, of course, coming back up and me continuing school, so it's definitely something a little important. So. Uh, for those of you who are wondering, by the way, I do work at a middle school as a special educational instructor. It has its advantages and disadvantages, of course. So if there are questions that you would like to ask me about school or things like that, feel free to ask. I've been around the block several times. I know quite a bit about school work, education. I've been to 4 different colleges already. military, I have a lot of different options. So if you're just looking at, help for homework, if you're looking at career choices, if you're looking at, figuring out what your next move is, maybe after high school, after college, whatever it is, you're welcome to talk to me. I'm perfectly happy to help you out. You just have to catch me on the day that I'm actually online because, with my girlfriend Dawn, who's not here right now, which is why I'm on this, is she doesn't like it when I play games that much. So, every once in a while, like during the weekends, maybe one day out of the weekend, I can usually get on and play, and she's okay with it. And, I play the whole day, and she gets to sit there and have her day off and relax and things like that. So, but typically with those, she's sitting on the couch behind me, and she's watching, TV, and the TV is like right here. So I don't have my mic on most of those days because I don't want you to hear the blaring Grey's Anatomy that's right next to me. So what I would advise you to do is I always have my phone on me. I'm always on my email. So if you have me on Steam, I have the Steam app, and I am typically on it all the time. So I'm available for chat there, and if you really need to email me, rhillger@hotmail.com is my email. So if you want to do that, we can go ahead and do that. I have no idea. I mean, if you're gonna send me something community related, please title it as Stheno, or even if it's for school, be like, hey, Stheno school help or something. So that way I know it's you, and if it gets sent to my junk mail, I can see that, hey, this isn't a piece of junk. This isn't some random person. I can email back, I'll answer. So I'm always updated on my emails. I get that to my phone as well. So I'm here for you, and that's what the community is all about. We're here for you, whether it's personal, business, whatever. So we're hopefully trying to spread out to sponsorships. With the sponsorships, we would, I'm drinking a Big Red here. Big Red, come sponsor us. We would start talking about different things, whether it would be, us wearing a certain type of headphone or us using a certain graphics card, things like that. Really promoting and, giving away items from different sponsors. Whether I think we should, invest in having a sponsor, for like an energy drink, because I know quite a few of us drink either, coffee or some type of energy drink. I don't personally do that anymore, but more power to you, you know. So if you're up for trying to get sponsors, feel free to ask. We do have to really build ourselves as a community before we really try to get some sponsors at the moment, because different businesses are going to look at it like, hey, what have you produced that would benefit us? If you only have 30 people in the community, how is that really going to benefit us spreading the word of our product as well? And so that's why we're trying to, really keep on these podcasts, which we are sorry that we've been slacking on. We did have our Fungasm, who's in charge of our audio production. He did just happen to move, kind of a short notice type thing that wasn't expected of him. He, yeah, if you want to ask him about that, you can. He may go into detail about it, I don't know. But he wasn't too thrilled. So that is why we didn't have a podcast this previous week. Now, with what is going on, we're trying to get podcasts, we're trying to get YouTube videos going. We're trying to get t-shirts, like I said. We're trying to start doing game reviews. All these things have just been slacking big time. And I think it would be great is if instead of us really just defining jobs for the officers, what if we open it up to the community? What if we start allowing the community as a whole to review games? Maybe once a day we'll post something on the forum as a poll, and it'll be maybe a different game, or a certain update to a game, or whatever it may be. And we'll post it up, you can read it, and then you can vote on it. You can say yay or nay, and we'll see how good the review was. Now, this will be based off of obviously different things depending on what the post is. So if it's just about graphics, say, if we're talking about graphics and we're comparing one game to another, we're going to look at, hey, the visuals of this game is better than that one, so we're going to vote for that one, and then the ratings that we're going to get are going to be based off of our votes. So however many total votes we have, we're going to divide the number of the winner of votes towards the total number, and then we're going to multiply that by 100 to see what percent we got. That'll be the percent of the good review. So it's going to be out of 100% skill base. Eventually, we're going to work our own system out to where we have, Stheno snakes instead of like 5 stars. It'll be 5 Stheno snakes. So we'll do something like that. But we're going to go ahead and stick with percentage for now, just to kind of get keep a clean slate. So we're going to look at doing that and getting you guys a little bit more involved and using the website and the forums a little bit more often, because it's like a ghost town, and in that ghost town there's no ghost living. So yeah, we're really hoping that something gets a little more populated. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was possibly figuring out some new ideas. Like maybe you guys can come to us with ideas and we can try to make it happen. So if you say like, hey, I would love for us to, I don't know, if some new multiplayer game comes up and you would love for us to be able to try and pay for that multiplayer game for, I don't know, 5 copies, 6 copies, however many is in the pack, and distribute those out to community members who show up to, a meeting or something like that. We would love to do that, because not only is that getting people to show up to meetings and on our TeamSpeak and being present for, the community itself, but it'll start expanding our game variety, and it'll start getting everybody together and playing that game. I would rather us play, more free-based multiplayer games, mainly because, like I said, we do have a lot of the younger audience, and some of them don't have jobs. Some of them, don't really have much income. Even some of the adults that we have don't have much income. And so we're looking at trying to save you guys the most money and trying to get you guys to be able to play games still. And I don't know if you've ever heard of humblebundle.com, but if you go to humblebundle.com, they always are selling games for way cheap prices. And it's not just games like one game for a cheap price. Usually every week you can get a pretty decent bundle for, I don't know, 6 to like 15 bucks. And that bundle will come with like 6 to 10 games, and that comes with their soundtrack as well. If you already have the game, you can gift it to somebody on through Steam, things like that. And they've got comic book bundles, they've got mobile bundles, they've got Steam bundles, and then they have weekly sales as well. So if you do want to just purchase an individual game, you can do that. Now, I don't know if you guys saw Peanut, but yeah, he's a killer. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, what they do is when you pay for these bundles, you can change how much you want to go to charity, how much you want to go to the game developers, and then how much you want to go to the website itself. And you can change it however you want. It's mainly a charity-based website, and it's amazing because they always choose a developer, or like just this week they did Just Sweet Charlie, which if any of you guys have been keeping up with the news, Paris, France more specifically, was under attack and had 12 people murdered, or I should say assassinated, pretty much. And it was a terror attack, and it was towards a newspaper company that is in France that it primarily, I got cat hair flying all over my food, that's why I'm waving. It was primarily based, a lot of its readings, on making cartoons of public figures who, these usual cartoons were not in any way, shape, or form like nice and forgiving. But what had happened is they posted up a picture, a comic of a leader that they should not have done. But I mean, it's the freedom of the press, and so what these terrorists had did is, because this leader was posted up, they're not that's against their religion. So they retaliated by killing these people and then taking hostages and setting off bombs and things like that. They went on a full-scale rampage in Paris, France, and it became a national crisis immediately. Um, I mean, people had signs, had started, doing rallies, protests in support of the newspaper company, saying "Je suis Charlie," I am Charlie in France, or in French, sorry, and uh, all it's saying is that the freedom of press is very important, and if they don't have that freedom, then what is there that we can really publish? So they started with the Humble Bundle. They started selling, I believe it was France maker type games. So all the games that were made from makers, of the French orientation, they decided to put a few of these into a bundle and they're selling it, and the full proceeds go to the charity Je suis Charlie, which is amazing because that charity, what it does is it's going to help rebuild that community and that newspaper, and it's going to help pay for some of these funeral costs and things like that that were such a devastating event in time. And if you're wondering what happened, France went ahead and made a national holiday that next day in honor of the victims who passed away, and it's something that is almost like a 9/11 scale, but not in that sense. Like 9/11 was huge because, I mean, it was a massive, massive terror attack, and it was on our twin towers, or I should say, our former twin towers. And this one was more of a target on the press, which isn't such a huge business, but it was still a huge terror attack. And when I compare it to 9/11, I do that very loosely, because not very much happens in France, and a lot happens in America. So when I say that our scale is 9/11, their scale is no, this is probably one of the bigger events that they've had. So that's what I mean when I compare them, is that those have been pretty devastating events for both countries that we've never experienced before. So I mean, I can't say that that would be a big event for us because, I mean, if you think back, we've had the Columbine, which was huge. We've had multiple school shootings over the years. Like, I don't know, it's getting ridiculous. And but back to the community. What we're hoping you do is really stick with us and open up to us. Tell us what you like, tell us what you want to see, what you I don't know, like to hear, and we're gonna try to gear towards really in getting your happiness out there. So if you would really like to be more a part of the community, please let us know. We will start. I don't know. Like I said, we'll start trying to do those polls for game reviews. We'll start, doing a base, like a update by update review on maybe Crude Owl's game mode. He can post certain things that he would like to put into the game, and maybe it's like I don't know, should I put a zombie or a vampire? And that would be the poll, and then the community would vote, and then whatever is the main vote, like the main winner. If say zombies was the main winner, he would put zombies in instead of the vampires, and that would get the community really going into there, and it would be a game mode that the community helped build, which I think is very important. And if you have not heard anything about Iceland, we're trying to kind of do a similar thing about Iceland, what they're doing with their constitution right now, which they pretty much trashed their constitution when they overthrew their last president, because it was just a constitution that they had adopted, over 100 years ago, and it was literally just one that I believe they took from the Dutch, and all they did was change it from, whatever their leader is to principal, or the president. And so it literally was just like plagiarism. What they did is they trashed it, and now they decided to have the community go ahead and elect uh, their government, basically. Now, their government, what they did is each member of the government had to have 30 votes from the community, so 30 recommendations for that person to become an office leader. So they have like 200 and something leaders, and these 200 something people are really getting down and dirty, and they are writing laws. What they do is each time they write a law, they will post it on a live feed onto the internet, and they will let the community of Iceland, so everybody in Iceland is allowed to vote for this law. And if it if it's voted highly upon, they're going to go ahead and put it in the Constitution. Now, if it's not, they're going to trash it and they're going to keep it out. And obviously, they're going to look at realistic looking things, so they're not going to just allow something very outrageous. You can murder a guy and get away with it. They're not going to let that slide. That's going to be something that they're going to have to put in. But for the most part, this constitution is built based off of Icelanders, and they will continue to build this constitution over the next few years until it is finished. And I think that's awesome because it gets all the people there excited about it, and they're doing their own thing. I hope I haven't been rambling on. I'm just trying to get you guys updated and have a sense of what's going on and what we are expecting of you guys and what you're expecting of us. I want us to be on the same page and to be able to advance as a community, not just in the gaming world. So please, like I said, give us feedback, and if you would like to play a game, let us know. So I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. This is like the worst ending ever, but JollyOllyMan is just not perfect sometimes. But he does have a pretty fucking awesome cat. Isn't that right, Peanut? Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Say goodbye, Peanut. Say goodbye while you bite me. Say goodbye. I just got cat bitch slapped. Later.